All right, here we go. I'm reading out of my topical Bible right now. And I wasn't even going to film, but it's like, I'm going to go ahead and film because y'all need to know this stuff, okay? The Lord took me to, let's see, 4.45. What is this? 4.45. This coincides with Luke 12. Chapter 12, verse 1 through 12, warning and encouragement, okay? Warning and encouragement. Listen to this, you guys. I'm shook, okay? They were getting ready to come and listen to what Jesus had to say. Many thousands of people came together. There were so many people that they were stepping on each other, okay? Before Jesus spoke to the people, he said to his followers, I'm going to pause right there. There's a lot of people that are even atheists, agnostic. They may be even people of other religions. These are people of all different nations, all different walks of life. And they're starting to see that what they've been believing in has not been working for them. Some of these are followers of Jesus Christ. They are wanting to hear from Jesus Christ right now more than ever before. It's like Jesus has their attention and they're listening. They want to know what Jesus has to say. People are wanting to know what Jesus has to say. They're stepping on each other to get to Jesus Christ, which is a good thing. Jesus was a public speaker, or he spoke to the people, the masses. He turned to his disciples and he said this: be careful of the yeast of the Pharisees. I mean that they are hypocrites, meaning they puff themselves up out for the masses to see. When they're on the world stage and when they are in the light, when they are in public, they puff themselves up to look important, to make themselves look like they're the standard, right? Not that Jesus is the standard. They point people to, they want to appear pious, but they're not pious. They're hypocrites. They're teaching one thing to the masses, but behind closed doors, they're doing another thing, okay? And so Jesus warns his disciples. Notice that he pauses before he even says anything to the masses. He turns to his disciples. So he's warning you guys, including me, because I'm a disciple of Jesus Christ, okay? Blood bought. Not be a hypocrite to the masses, okay? Who you are on stage better be the same person you are out off stage. Don't make yourself appear perfect, okay? Because like the Pharisees, knowing that they weren't perfect, but they pointed to themselves as the standard, like y'all need to get like us, y'all need to be like us, we the ones with the money, okay? Just because someone has money, you guys, doesn't make them holy, okay? Any more than it makes me a doctor if I walk into a hospital, right? So Jesus is warning his disciples. I'm not saying that the disciples are being hypocrites, but he's warning the disciples, if you are not practicing what you preach behind closed doors out in the open, it's basically you're going to be exposed, okay? So let's keep going. Everything that is hidden will be shown, and everything that is secret will be made known. What you say in the dark will be told in the light, and what you whisper in a private room will be shouted from the house. At this point, Jesus is talking to everybody. Everything that is secret, be careful what I'm getting from this, you guys. Like I said, be authentic, be who you are. Don't be one person on the stage and then be another person off stage. Don't be one person on YouTube and then be another person be off YouTube. Don't say things on the internet, okay, that you wouldn't say to the person's face. Don't say things in the dark, because they will be told in the light. So don't say things in the dark that you would not say in the light. That's how I'm reading this. Jesus is saying, and what you whisper, this is crazy right here. Whisper. What you whisper in a private room. A private room. How are people hearing something that someone is whispering in a private room? It says, this is Jesus' words, y'all. Whisper. What you whisper in a private room will be shouted from the top of the house. Okay, this reminds me of a couple things. One, y'all need to be careful of technology is getting ready to advance some more. There's getting ready to be an advancement of technology. Y'all already are seeing this kind of stuff, okay? So be very careful of what you're saying right now, okay? Especially if you're a disciple of Jesus Christ, okay? Don't make Jesus Christ look bad, you guys. Don't, okay? Don't make him look bad. Be the same person in the light that you are in the dark, okay? Because things are going to be shouted from rooftops that people are whispering behind closed doors. It's like I'm seeing people in a meeting. It's like a few people I'm seeing in a meeting, and they're conspiring, and they think nobody will ever hear these conversations, but they're going to be displayed for the world to see. They're going to be whispering private rooms will be shouted from. I don't know how this is going to happen, but Jesus has a way of exposing people, okay? He does. He has a way of exposing people, but I'm getting like technology too. Technology, something about technology. I know that our phones, they listen to us, you guys. Y'all know that our phones, they listen to us. Be careful what you are filming right now. Be careful what you are saying. Not just right now, forever. Be careful what you are doing. Be careful what you are saying. Be true to yourself. Be your authentic self, okay? I tell y'all all the time, listen, I am not perfect. I am not perfect. I'm not perfect. I was going to share something with y'all, but Jesus don't want me to share it, so I'm not going to share it. But I'm not the standard, you guys. Jesus Christ is the standard, okay? I fall short all the time. But one thing I'm not going to sit up here and do is be fake. Okay? Y'all can call me a lot of things. Y'all can call me a lot of things. But fake is not one of them. Okay? One thing I don't do, I don't follow people I don't like. If I don't like you, meaning I don't like your actions, I don't like the words that come out your mouth, I'm not hanging around you, and I definitely don't want you on my feed. And so if there's some things that I'm saying on here that y'all don't like, feel free to dismiss yourself. It's not stopping my mission. It's not stopping my assignment. It's gonna go forward. Okay. Oh, this is the last thing that I wanted to share. Then Jesus said to the people, I tell you, my friends, don't be afraid of people. They can kill the body, but after that, they can do nothing more to hurt you. I will show you the one to fear. You should fear God, who has the power to kill you and also throw you into hell. Yes, he is the one you should fear. You guys, there are so many people right now, more than ever. Hold on. And these are followers of Jesus Christ. These are disciples of Jesus Christ, and they're hiding behind closed doors. People are hiding. You guys, that's a sin. You're hiding out of fear when you're supposed to be using your gifts, using your talents to serve the world, make the world better. Jesus says that you're the salt of the earth. So you're there you need to you have flavor, okay? You have flavor, and the world needs it right now. You have gifts that the world needs it, and a lot of y'all are sitting on y'all gifts. Y'all sitting on y'all talents. Y'all think that everything is just going to be all gravy because you are locked up in your house. Oh, I don't want to deal with people. Trust me, I get what y'all are. I get why you guys are hiding and locking yourselves up in the house, and you're saying, I don't want to deal with people because I don't trust people. But that's living in fear. And God is not giving you a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And if you are not using your talents, to make the world a better place, to bring people to Christ, God is not going to be pleased with you. And he will deal with you accordingly. Okay, I don't know what this is. It's a warning. This is what it says. Warning and encouragement. You have nothing to fear. You have nothing to be afraid of. What you need to be afraid of is God. He's the only one that has the power to kill you and put your soul into hell. Okay. I remember I used to be like this. I used to be, when I had my own place and I was nice and comfortable in my home with my kids and my cat, you guys. I said, I worked from home. There was no reason for me to leave home. I remember this clearly. I said, I was thinking to myself, I said, there ain't nothing out there for me. I'm fine. I had a little cozy two-bedroom apartment. I decked it up really nice. It was so cute. And I told God, I said, I'm not going out there. It's not safe out there. I don't trust people, and it's expensive out there. People don't want to leave the house because they say it's expensive. And you know what God did? He took me out of my comfort zone, you guys. He took me out of my comfort zone. He took my work from home job away. I told y'all this. He took away my remote job.
Somebody gave it to me last night.
And then he made me get out here on the street. Took away my shelter. Okay, now would I have done it this way? No, I would not have done it this way. But I'm telling you what, I've gotten more done out here on the street than I ever have living behind closed doors. So be careful with that, hiding out of fear, not using your gifts, not using your spiritual gifts to help and serve, and not multiplying what he has given you. You're supposed to be multiplying, using what he's giving you. Okay, if you don't have money, you still have something, and he wants you to use it so you can multiply. But if you don't, poverty is gonna come up on you real fast, and I don't want that for you. Okay, so if that's you, don't shoot me. I'm just a messenger. I am the messenger. Okay, so that's all I have. I will talk to you guys later. This is a very short and sweet message, but it's right there in the scriptures. Go read it. It's in Luke. I'll talk to you guys later. Remember, begin discovering your purpose in Jesus Christ today, and watch your life flourish in more ways than one. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. I thought that I was done. Let me add this part in there too, guys. Anyway, so I kept reading. I came back after my shower. I kept reading. When birds are so, this is Jesus continuing to talk to the masses of people that were climbing over each other practically to try to hear what he had to say. Well, this is what he has to say, you guys. Listen up. When birds are sold, 5 small birds cost only 2 pennies, but God does not forget any of them. And they're barely worth nothing, you guys. God remembers every single bird, okay? Yes, God even knows how many hairs you have on your head. Don't be afraid. Jesus is reiterating, do not be afraid of what's going on in the world, you guys. Do not be afraid of what you're seeing in the world. Continue to live your life and stop locking yourself in behind closed doors. Some of you guys are just going to work. If you have a 9-to-5, you're going to the grocery store. If you do that, some of y'all have groceries delivered to your house because y'all don't want to deal with humans out of fear, okay? And then you're running home and you're not doing anything else. You're not living, you're not proclaiming the gospel about Jesus Christ out in the open. You're not serving, you're not donating clothes, you're not giving of your time because you're afraid. God does not forget any of them. Talking about the birds. Yes, God even knows how many hairs you have on your head. Don't be afraid. You are worth much more than birds, you guys. If God has his eyes on the sparrow, you guys, what makes y'all think that God ain't got his eyes on your situation? Yes, you. Okay? You are valuable to God. Okay? He cares about your well-being, your safety, okay? I tell you, now this is the most important point I want y'all to grasp, okay? This is the thesis statement, okay? This statement is this. People are refusing to interact with other people out of fear, so much that they are locking themselves in. People are afraid of humans now more than ever before, because, and this includes Christians, because out of fear, because they're afraid. Okay, but this is the conclusion. This is the answer to your fear. Okay, this is the answer. One, continue to live, you guys. I'm out here, I'm houseless, but I continue to live, you guys. Now, there may be times where I go off by myself and I may not even talk to very many people, and I may take time away from everybody like Jesus did and just kind of regroup, right? I need to recharge, unplug for a little bit, right? Get away from people. But then I have to go back out there. I have to let God fill me back up again, fill me up, replenish me, and then I go back out into the field. Okay, I'm not saying to give and let people take from you. Okay, you gotta know there's a time to rest and there's a time to serve, right? And so he says, I tell you, if you stand before others and are willing to say you believe in me, then I will say that you belong to me. I will say this in the presence of God's angels. Why did Jesus say, I will say this in the presence of God's angels? Because Jesus wants to make sure the angels know which one of us belongs to him, okay, in these last days. Okay, why? Doesn't mean you're not going to go through things in life. It doesn't mean you're not going to go through things in life, but there's just certain things Jesus will not let happen to you. And so what he will tell his angels, it says it right here, if you are not afraid to proclaim about Jesus Christ out in the open to the masses, in public, online, like what I'm doing now, even in person, and you guys want to serve Jesus, some of y'all want to serve Jesus only behind closed doors where nobody can see. But when you go to work, you don't mention Jesus. When you go out into the field, you don't mention Jesus. You don't mention Jesus when you're out there at these festivals. Y'all don't. I'm not judging. I'm just showing you what the Lord is showing me in the scriptures. It says, then I will say that you belong. It says, but this is what's going to happen if you guys are ashamed to proclaim about Jesus in the public. It says, but if you stand before others and say, you do not believe in me, then I will say that you do not belong to me. I will say this in the presence of God's angels. Why is he saying I will say this in the presence of God's angels? Because there's two groups, you guys. There's a group that belongs to Jesus, that is not afraid to go into these public spaces and say that they belong to Jesus Christ. And there's another group that wants to serve Jesus Christ only behind closed doors. Jesus is saying that he's not claiming y'all, and he's going to let his angels know that he's not claiming y'all. Because when stuff hits the fan and things begin to shift in the earth again, okay, the angels need to know who's who. Okay, when the last day comes, when Jesus breaks open the sky and he comes back, the angels are going to be the ones sorting through people. They're going to be the ones doing the sorting, and so they need to know who belongs to Jesus Christ and who doesn't. So there's two groups, okay? That's all I wanted to add. Thank you, as a blessing to you. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.